So I'm back outside this mosque, designed by Mirmar Sinan, and he is the key to President Erdogan's claim that Crimea should be returned to the Tatars, and is ultimately Turkic. And this lies behind the Crimean campaign in the 19th century. It lies behind Erdogan's comments about Crimea being returned to Ukraine and to the Tatars now, and it's about sort of encapsulating it. The icon of this is the mosque which Sinan designed, which is in Crimea, and this is so important. If this is a statement of what Sinan could produce, if this is his masterpiece, the mosque in Crimea is part of that expression, and that is a central principle of now and of then. You suddenly see how history interlinks. The issue of the historical trajectory of the Crimean Tatars, their Ottoman heritage, how the past informs modern political discourse, the legacy of Ottoman rule, exemplified by the region's mosques, and particularly the artistic influence of Sinan, remains a powerful symbol for the Crimean Tatars, whose aspirations for cultural revival and political recognition, I think now continues to shape the modern debate. We see how these historical narratives underpin Erdogan's call for Crimea to be returned to Ukraine and for the Tatars to be welcomed back to their ancestral lands. The Crimean Tatars, a Turkic people with roots in Central Asia, found a formidable patron in the Ottoman Empire, and when the Ottomans extended their influence over Crimea in the 15th century, the Crimean Khanate emerged as a vassal state, weaving the region into a broader tapestry of Islamic and Turkic culture. And this partnership provided not only military support but also cultural and administrative tools, a framework that's endured, and the Ottoman imprint is clearly visible in the architecture and the institutions that continue to echo the Tatars' sense of identity and historical entitlement in Crimea itself. And among the lasting legacies of Ottoman rule is the architectural heritage of Mirmar Sinan, the chief architect of the Ottoman Empire, and his design principles resonate strongly. His style, characterized by the graceful domes, the balanced proportions, the symbolic ornamentation, is to be found in Crimea as well as in Istanbul, as well as in Edirne. And it's within this context that the significance of one structure stands out, the Juma Jami Mosque in Yevpatoria. And this is known as the Han Mosque in Yevpatoria, and it was founded in 1552 by the Crimean Khan Devlet Gere I to commemorate his victory over Moscow. And this mosque is the largest in Crimea and the only building in the peninsula attributed to the direct influence of Sinan. And while Sinan's hand in its construction, his actual physical hand in its construction, is debated because of his preoccupation with other major projects like the Suleymaniye Mosque, the Juma Jami's design unmistakably reflects his aesthetic ethos, this harmonious blend of function, elegance, and spiritual symbolism, reminiscent of the Fatih Mosque in Istanbul with its central dome, its 4 subsidiary domes and twin minarets. And beyond its architectural beauty, the mosque has long served as a silent witness to Crimea's layered history. And not only has it hosted official ceremonies and decrees, but it also houses symbolic graves such as Numan Chalebi Khan, linking it indelibly to the region's Tatar leadership. And that's where Erdogan's comments come in. President Erdogan's rhetoric today draws deeply on this well of Ottoman heritage. By invoking the grandeur of historic mosques and the cultural memory of the Crimean Khanate, Erdogan frames Crimea not merely as a global flashpoint, a geographic flashpoint, in the 21st century as in the 19th century, but as a repository of a cherished legacy. And his call for Crimea to be returned to Ukraine is anchored in principles of international law and historic rectification. It's less a territorial claim by Turkey and more a symbolic affirmation of the rights of the Crimean Tatars to reclaim their cultural and historic dignity, a dignity that's been eroded by past injustices such as the deportations under the Soviet rule. And in this narrative, the Juma Jami Mosque becomes more than an architectural relic. It's a beacon of shared history that inspires modern aspirations for unity and restoration among the Turkic peoples. In summary, the Tatar plan for Crimea is a vision rooted in rich historic legacy, a legacy defined by centuries of Ottoman influence, exemplified in monumental architecture and cultural institutions, and the heritage embodied by structures like the Juma Jami Mosque serves as a potent reminder. Let's do that again. The Tatar plan for Crimea is a vision rooted in rich historical legacy, a legacy defined by centuries of Ottoman influence, exemplified in monumental architecture and cultural institutions, and the heritage embodied by structures like the Juma Jami Mosque serves as a potent reminder of Crimea's past glory and informs current political calls for justice and cultural revival. President Erdogan's appeals, invoking this shared legacy, underscore the enduring bonds between Turkey and Crimea and the Tatars, and the hope that historic wounds might be healed through the recognition of long-standing rights and identities.